Hi everyone, I'm Percy Lau. I'm a digital artist from Hong Kong. I'm very happy to be here, and actually this is the first time for me to be a host. And we're very lucky today to have our Gen Z and Gen Alpha artists here. And let's welcome our guests.
Hello everyone, my name is Yueqi and I'm a fashion designer.
Hi everyone, I'm Fenwan and I do paper cutting. Maybe you can imagine some paper cutting, but I do it in contemporary ways.
Hello guys, I'm Tate. Work with my brother, Drew, OFFGOD, and we do art, sculpture, and just design work in general, products and a bunch of other stuff.
And at this ComplexCon, we also have a HSBC collaboration, which is in a booth of HSBC.
Hi, I'm Chloe, and I'm an artist doing illustration and sculptures. I'm stoked to be here today and to talk to all of you.
Okay, actually today our topic will be the creative technology in art and design, heritage, status quo, and the future. So let's go to the part one. Let's talk about the heritage. And the first question we'll be asking to Yueqi. So how has traditional craftsmanship influenced your approach to integrating technology into fashion design?
I want to say, of course, as you can see my work, it's we have a lot of craftsmanship combined with the modern technology. For me, efficient, it's very important because the handicraft part is so time consuming. So you can see there's a lot of a headphone we make into a hand weaving and combine them into a women's wear silhouette. Yes, and I really want to express the nature and modern technology, the harmony between in my design.
And also I have the second question to Fenwan. Do you think technology risks overshadowing the value of handcrafted traditionals in art? How do you balance the two?
And the value of traditional handicraft is irreplaceable, I think. But I believe the key point is how we make use of technology. I make a tag of myself. It's called iPad paper cutting.
Oh, so you use iPad to do the paper cutting?
Yeah, you can see it just like digital mapping technology, but this helps me get past the physical limits of traditional paper cutting. If we see technology is just a tool but not the goal, my ambition is to communicate well to my audience, so I think I can balance it well with both methods.
Because I really like your work. The first time I see your work was in 3 years ago in a show, in an exhibition. I was so impressive.
Thank you.
The three questions will be to OFFGOD, Andrew and Tate. So in what way do you see technology as a continuation of or a departure from traditional fashion design techniques?
I think we work in a pretty unorthodox way. So I think we start with a lot of sketching and then concept renders and previs. So we work backwards from the not final product but from the previs into how we can make it happen.
Yeah, I think we do a lot of testing through technology and through our iPads because for example, for this collaboration we did with Adidas, we wanted to see what the sculpture would look on the shoelaces, and one way we could do that is we could 3D print it and we could test it out, but another way is we could also render it out and we could piece it together on a software to see what it looks like as in the final result. And I feel that really speeds up the process of testing, and it also makes the whole process of making art just very easily editable, and you can change whenever you want.
We all have the ideas of the past, the heritage. We use the different traditional hand craftsmanship and also use some new techniques. We use 3D printing, especially for right now. We use AI a lot for our creativity, and also it brings a lot of questions and problems. We have a doubt on some new technologies. And the part two will be the status quo. Can you share us about how creative technology plays an important role in your creative process from concept to production, and how it pushed your industry forward?
Maybe I share something about how I adjust the light step by step. And during the idea stage, I will take some notes for brainstorming on my iPad. After the notes, I will draft, do some sketch in a relaxed way, because my paper cutting is not like the traditional Chinese paper cutting. It will do many construction in it. So after that, maybe it's the creation of the patterns. And I will do many patterns creation on my iPad. So why I call it iPad paper cutting.
So most of the time you use iPad, and I saw also the same question to OFFGOD, because just now we mentioned about 3D printing, right? So what do you think about share about your creative technology to us? Did you create everything on Procreate?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of the first basic sketches on Procreate first, and then after that we'll go back and forth on Procreate and edit and change whatever we need before going to the 3D modeling process. Yeah, a lot of the time I feel like with a lot of traditional sculptures that we do, it's made out of people handcraft those, and but we do a lot of 3D printing. So a lot of the sculptures that you see that are exhibited by us were all done using 3D softwares and also just sketching. And yeah, I feel like it's a lot of our art style and also just our DNA.
Chloe, what do you think?
Well, I think the rest of digital tools has totally shaken up my design teamwork. And for me personally, I mainly use Procreate for 2D concept work. But now me and my team members create a 3D model on computer and send it into 3D printer. About Apple ecosystem, I can start design on my Mac and then pick it up on my iPad when I'm moving.
The second question, how has the rise of digital tools, for example, like 3D printing, AI, VR, transformed the way you design and collaborate with the others?
Yes, because Fenwan is not just a person. I have my team, like 10 people team. When I'm creating, I have to say Apple ecosystem is undoubtedly the best because you can share screen, transmission, super convenient. Today I bring my collaboration is I work with PopMart, is the Space Mega Molly in that way. So it can share how I collaborate with others. And I think in the installation work in the space, it's hard to know how a piece of paper can be presented. And it's very crucial to do all the whole control. So I want to share one of my work, and it calls Infinite. It looks like a dragon.
That one, right?
Yes. But in fact, it's a lifelong project for me. I hope it will never be completed. When come back to 2018, it only has 268 parts of the dragon. But now, in the year 2025, it has 1,500 more parts of it.
That's an epic work. I can't imagine how big the work.
Yeah, so it has to be two ways combined together, the handcraft way and the new technology mixed together.
Great. The same question we'll be also asking Chloe.
That things is just in Las Vegas that I collaborated with the scientific writer Xing Liu, and I designed 6 characters for him.
Okay.
And this is the sketch.
Great. And we all know that the artists on the stage right now is all Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Please tell me, what are the software and hardware do you use in your creation, and what makes a big difference?
So, because for my workflow, it's very practical because we are a fashion brand, and then we I already started my brand for almost 5 years. So normally I will start with the free form. When I see things, I just randomly draw things on my free form. After I generate my idea, I have my primary research, and I will tell my team. So at this part, we will use keynotes. I'm not so sure if you work with the young kids. It's really hard to communicate with them in person sometimes. But actually, their brain is so much interesting thing. Just
they are talking about you two, you three.
Yes. So I instead of talking them in person as a boss, and I would tell them or maybe you can just based on my research, my theme, you can put what your thoughts or what do you think about this project? What is your inspiration or your research? So we're gonna, they don't need to like give me answer right away. They just give me answer on the keynotes. From this part, I can start drawing fashion illustration based on the research. And then after we pick our favorite look, and then I would draw into technical drawing. So like as you can see what I'm wearing today, we have a lot of like laser cut things. So we use this app called Infinity. So we create all this like a laser pattern, and then we do some handicraft and fabric experimentation. And we use the app called Close 3D. So we put all the pattern into, like I want to see the result right away. So I put the file into Close 3D so I can see, I can choose the fabric so I can save a lot of money.
This app is on Mac, right?
Yeah, on Mac. So it's like super useful and helpful.
That's very impressive, like from the beginning, from nothing to a whole show. The number 4 question to OFFGOD. Is there any recent project where technology plays a pivotal role in bringing you vision to life? Can you share us the story behind it?
Yeah, so this is right outside. It's like the big part of the esports space with HSBC. Obviously, sculpture in the middle. We were assigned like a spot that we can just like freely design. So our idea was to have the sculpture in the middle, the plinths on the side with like graphics on the plinth. So obviously it's like annotated with Procreate. So to get our ideas across. So that was how it started as like.
Yeah.
So it went from that to like previs with all the measurements of the space.
Great.
And also the lighting setup too. We wanted to know where the light was to better display the sculpture in the entirety of the space. So
do you use any new tech to set the lightings to like predict how the lights goes on?
yeah, so it's the same. It's Rhino and V-Ray, which is available on the Mac.
So that's why we would annotate drawings and we would make graphics and we would draw over pictures so that it's an easier way to visualize what's going on.
Well, right now we're talking about the future. We are using there's a very interesting thing. Like I saw a list about on the other day that they said like 10 jobs is very easily to replace by AI. So the first question I want to ask about Fenwan, how do you think emerging the technologies will shape the future of paper cutting?
In most of the audience, mine is very traditional one. So I think I'm doing something new. And paper cutting for me, most of the time is a concept, not really an art form.
And then the next question we'll be asking Chloe, how might the role of the artist involved as technology becomes more integrated into the industry?
Well, I think the integration of technology makes us more varied and widespread. Recently, I've been experimenting with Procreate Dreams, like this in the screen, to create like short animations and explore new ways of storytelling. And I mean, if I'm still working with just paper and a pencil, I'd be limited into my flight artwork. I think this transformation has helped me grow as an artist and focus more to creating meaningful work.
The last but not the least, I want to ask Yueqi. We're not showing here, but what excites you the most about the future creative technology in fashion, and what concerns you?
Yeah, I really I always looking for the new technology, like which new apps of work can help me improve my my design process and how to improve the time when I'm doing the craftsmanship, help with me. And then, but also I'm really concerned with the modern technology. It's hard to stimulate the imagination because for me, most of my inspiration and everything is go see things, go touch things, and go try combine them with my hand. If I don't do much experiment, just rely on all the modern technology, I will lose the actual all the practice just stimulate me.
So, do you have any concerns, Andrew and Tate?
But we try to be very cognizant of it. We mostly use digital tools, but at the same time we try to think of new processes of maybe printing 3D but then casting it, using more practical processes and traditional processes, and having that in mind when we make our work.
And building on top of that, I think right now my brother and I we're working a lot on trying to mix different medias that are both traditional and modern and like newer technology, because we really want to still keep that like handmade and the traditional ways of art, because I feel like if it's fully like technology made, then it does lose that like artist touch.
Cool. So here it comes up to the end of it, but do any of you have any question to these talented, to this genius?
Hello. So yeah, I know we're not really supposed to talk about AI, but actually, what are the benefits and what are the challenges with AI across the board, across different platforms on each of your line of work?
I think for us, I think AI helps in a sense where in the tech side, like in terms of 3D printing, it optimizes a lot of things.
Skips a few steps and it definitely like simplifies it for the users so that it's easier for us
Like
to create.
it works as a process to get your ideas.
Hey, maybe you can try making your own model first, and you will see how AI assists you, or you can see her or it, or see AI as your assistant or a tool, but not just, never let it like replace your brain, replace your thinking. I would suggest Stable Diffusion. You can make your own LoRa model to make the images. And it can help you create your own models very easily. Is there like, because just now Dean really want like 5 of you to share some advices to the audience right now. Maybe Chloe first. Do you have any advice to all the audiences?
Well, if you are new to this field, I believe building a strong foundation in both creative and technology aspect can be a great start. Finding something interesting and start for it, and learn different forms of visual expression. And also on the tech side, you don't have to become expert. Just learn the basic digital software like Procreate, and with some practice, I think then you may be somewhere else.
If you have certain tools that make you create art or anything, I feel like you should always experiment with it and try to use it, but don't get too carried away with new technology, because a lot of it does shorten like the process and turns it into more of a shortcut, which could be a bad thing.
So many tools you have in hand, like the iPad, Procreate, there's a lot you can do. It's just about having a very clear vision of what you want to achieve. Like it has to be from you. Just be true to your vision of what you want to make.
And for one?
Yeah, I hate to give advice, but but I think be curious, be ambitious, and keep hardworking.
Great, I love this one. Don't give advice. Young people have their own thoughts.
It's for me, like I'm not so sure like what industry you guys from, but like my idea is that if you like interesting in art, fashion, or any like creative process, like the first thing is like get a paper or pen or like iPad or something you can draw on. Just like randomly draw things, and then it's like really help you think in this way.
I'm just curious to know like who are the inspiration or your muse throughout your art creation journey, or from the starting point, like who are the muse that make you want to become an artist?
I have to say it's Shintaro Kako. He is my big inspiration.
You always have a really special taste.
One of my biggest inspirations is Tyler, the Creator, because not just because of his music, but also his practices in art creation and also just the way he thinks, because he dabbles in a lot of different fields. And I think that that's very admirable and really inspires me to also try to do more things and try out different fields.
I don't know, I think I was doing architecture, and then I saw Anthony Caro. He's like a British sculptor. And then I think my senses shifted towards more like sculptural, more expressive sculpture works. So I think I choose Anthony Caro as my choice.
Yeah,
And for
if
one?
you know Henry Matisse is also do paper cut. Yeah, have to say one person, I would say him. But I want to say my history is also my inspiration of my whole day.
Like for me, I don't have like specific one person, but like I really like doing observation like for a group of people. Like for example, they are like the young kids on the street in Japan, or rock and roll musician. Because I'm really attracted by a group of people, their spirits. Because what my design is, I try to resonate with the audience. Like what is their like emotion, attitude as this group of people. I think this is really like inspire me.
For me, when I was an eyewear designer, Stephen Jones and Magella are always inspire me the most. But right now I'm using AI as my career, what I'm doing right now. Actually, I got inspired from Mark Rothko, which is an abstract art painter. It's really funny that I feel like AI can feel the emotion from Mark Rothko. So this is the artists are really into it right now. I think we finished all of it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the guests. Thanks, guests, and all the audiences here. Thank you.